Hey there, Kristy Morrison here. I wanted to give you a heads up that you're going to see some changes on this podcast. I am merging the conscious journey experience and the authentic shift into one, and will be keeping the conscious journey experience name. So you may hear me reference the authentic shift from time to time in the next few episodes, as I'll be uploading some older ones. Thanks for your patience, and I look forward to seeing you on the Conscious Journey experience.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 10 of the Authentic Shift podcast. I apologize in advance if you hear me yelling. I've been told by my stunningly beautiful co-host that sometimes when I yell, she gets all freaked out and rips the earphones out because it translates into loud noises when theoretically it should be pulled down tonality. I can be over here as animated as I want. You shouldn't have your ears hurting for it. And I plan on being animated. It's going to be a good day. It's going to be a great day. It already is a good day. No idea what day this is going to be uploaded, but the day we recorded, I'm having a lot of fun. Episode 10, ladies and gentlemen, the Authentic Shift podcast. Kristy's with me. She's right there. I want to talk today about, look at how bubbly she is. Isn't she just a little ray of sunshine? To everyone watching the show, to everyone listening to the show, just there she is. She's just audibly sunshine now. What's your take, madam, on the idea that people lose control of their lives inch by inch, piece by piece, step by step. So they don't even realize that they're losing control of their lives.
Mm-hmm.
And in doing so, they attempt to control their partner. Have you ever experienced this in any of your, I think you said you had like 8,400 relationships in your day. Actually, I joke.
8,400?
She's a gentle flower, this one. She's taken her virginity back after every single encounter. So that's an interesting thing. If you can't have fun, why even bother?
Oh, I never know what's going to come out of your mouth. And
no.
It keeps me on my toes, and it literally cracks me up every single time.
What's fun for me about that, too, is I also don't know. Like, it just falls out of my mouth half the time. It's not like I'm like pre-planning.
Hence why I say you have Tourette's.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And there's that one person in the audience. How dare you use Tourette's as a joke? I have a sister who knows a guy. But we live in a world where we're taught 1,000 different things about 1,000 different things, and we don't understand how any of it truly works. Yet we make damn sure, or we make as much noise as we possibly can about what we believe to be our belief, as if it's like fact, as if it's actually a thing. And I'm going on about this because in my business life, and I'm not going to mention names or situations or anything like that because of client confidentiality and all that, of course, stuff, and just general respect. But my curiosity is piqued. I even said to him that he should speak to you about certain things, and there's definitely the ability to cross inform. So for anybody that needs female advice, you're somebody that I trust implicitly that would certainly offer any of my paying clients some amazing insight on things. But yeah, your take on that. Have you ever experienced that? Have you ever been in a situation where you clearly know that this person is falling apart over there, so they're taking it out on you? Or have you ever been in a situation where they're taking it out on you for no reason? I'm asking you because you're the co-host of the show.
At the time, I don't think I actually knew what was happening, like, consciously. You know, when someone's reacting and taking things out on you, naturally you just take it personally, right?
Yeah.
You don't look at it objectively and be like, oh, well, they're lashing out because they're going through something and it must be difficult, so I need to give them space, or maybe I should help them out, lean on them. No, it's happened 100 billion% and many times through my long-term relationship, but I wasn't aware, and I don't think I became aware of that element until I started paying attention to myself. And then I was like, oh, when I lash out, it's because of
interesting,
and it becomes a little bit more apparent. Why? Do you think that person that you were talking about isn't aware that they're losing control and they're lashing out, or vice versa, or what's happening?
Side note, did you change my name?
I did.
All
It's a little bit
right.
of an inside joke. So we came on here and Adam put his name. I don't even remember what it was. It was
Legend.
something.
I just put Legend in the corner. It said, "What's your name?" as you enter the studio.
See, so he wrote it. He didn't write the word legend. He had like capital L, lowercase e, and then capital G, whatever it was.
Lowercase e, lowercase n, capital D.
And I was like,
Legend.
what's legenda? Legenda? And it drove me nuts, so I changed it back to Adam.
Interesting though, because I mean, we're using Riverside right now, and it's her program, so like she's the one that initiated this, and I laugh because I'm like, well, I guess I thought I had the ability to speak my name. Apparently, I don't. Apparently, it's just all an illusion that I had any form of control whatsoever.
As soon as you're in a relationship, it's always an illusion that you have any type of control.
I don't know about that. Illusions. So yeah, back to the matter at hand. I look at this and I feel for my client, but I mean, for the most part, to me, it's an opportunity to understand yourself a little bit better. Now, as the person who's, I guess, what do you want to say, the aggressor in the situation, as somebody who's like, taking out their frustrations on the partner, and I don't mean it violently or vindictively. I mean, I'm flat out referring to the fact that when your life is falling apart, or when you perceive your life to be falling apart, because your life really isn't necessarily falling apart, but when you perceive certain things, you almost want to run with it, and then you try to ask yourself, what answers can I give myself? How can I be, or what am I looking for? And when you don't find strength in self, you seek fault in others, which is something that I've seen time and time again with any of my clients.
Yeah, they turn the shift from themselves onto the other person and what the other person's doing wrong. Well, if they did XYZ, this would be all better. We're like, okay, hold on, cowboy. Let's reflect on ourselves. If we're going to be sitting at this table accusing someone for not doing something or not showing up in a certain way, we also need to take accountability on our side. Is there something that I could be doing that could support this relationship, this conversation, this hurdle?
Yeah. And that, that's one of those things where I look at it, I look at scenarios, I look at myself, I look at my story, and I put myself in my client's shoes, and I think to myself, okay, well, I know full well that to fix this particular situation, they need to focus on business, not the relationship with the person. But when you get the opportunity to sort of see what somebody's finding insecurities in, like when your partner, for example, is attacking you about whatever it is, what they're actually attacking you on is what they deem to be their weakness. I've seen this 1,000 times, like I said, and it's funny because this is obviously, classic projecting, but people don't get this opinion or these takes or this sort of stuff in day-to-day conversations, because this is often reserved for therapy. My problem with therapy is you need to be quote unquote accredited. You need to go to school. You need to do all this sort of stuff to become a quote unquote therapist. The problem with schooling is they teach you Western ways of dealing with problems, which are often false and medication related.
That too, and also therapists, they just got really good at asking questions. They don't actually give you any answers. They're not like, you need to do XYZ because it's your life. They're going to ask you, well, how do you feel you need to proceed? How is this blah, blah, blah? And they're asking the good questions where, in all honesty, if we become really good at asking questions ourselves, could kind of eliminate that entire industry.
And that's the thing too, because that's where you want to be. You want to be able to ask yourself the questions.
Yeah, you never want to be able to be put in a situation where you have to rely on someone to get your own answers. It makes you dependent. We are sovereign beings, and we should be able to come up with our own answers, and it's all within us. The truth is within us. We don't need someone to be like, I need you to tell me what to do next. I don't fucking know. I don't know what you need to do next. I know what I need to do next.
I think that in and of itself is a huge one too, because when somebody asks you, and one thing that I've learned in this journey myself is every single thing that seems to be the thing that people are coming to me with, whether they're paying clients or their friends or family or anything like that, it's something that I can glean for myself as well. It's something that I can say, okay, I need to focus on this or look at this inside myself. How can I make this, or how can I answer their question? First and foremost, my brain will put myself in their scenario, in their situation. I will then correlate the story inside my own head, and I'll say, okay, I can do this, this, and this to help this, that, and the other thing. Or I can say, I've lived through this. I've already done this. I already know this, which gives you, the speaker, an opportunity to
share your experience, but it doesn't mean it's the
and solidify it down deep, put it right in, and that's massively important. Importante.
We've also, I find, become a society where we stop sharing our stories. And I think that's why so many people are lost nowadays, and they're confused, and they, don't know how to ask the good questions and navigate through this world, only because they don't know how. We've stopped sharing our stories. Like, when we hear stories in the moment, it may mean nothing and you're just being supportive to a friend, but
Right.
it's planting that knowledge within your brain, and who knows, 10 years down the line, you can be going through a similar situation and you're like, oh yeah, Sally went through this exact same thing 10 years ago and this is what she did. Doesn't mean it's the right thing for you to do, but it's something that allows you to be like, oh, okay, Sally did something creative. She really wanted to go out and change her energy. Exactly. Yeah.
So but at the same time with that, you have the ability to extrapolate. So you remember the story that was told to you, and you're like, oh, well, if she came through it on this and did this, this, and this, my story's a little bit different, but these are the things that I'm able to do from that. Another fascinating thing too is when, like humans, for example, just having somebody listen to you is connection.
It's 100% healing.
Yeah. And the funny thing about that is everything that we do as humans, everything that we addictively do, all of our patterns and all that sort of stuff, you find it think about TikTok, for example. Let's just throw to TikTok. If you think about TikTok, you can scroll through TikTok and just flip through, flip, right? So the key with TikTok is to grab your attention like intentionally.
Yeah.
A prime example, I put on my Instagram a reel that I ripped from TikTok, which was, it was the otter and the dog playing with each other. Oh, it
was so cute.
And so my Instagram account, I really like, like we've done some great things with it, and I get average, I get accordingly, responses accordingly. But this thing blew out of the water. It was 19 seconds of a dog and an otter swimming, and it just went through. The 300,000 people have already seen it. Right now, my average view is 10, 15,000. So what I'm saying is, when you connect with somebody, when you tell your story, you have the opportunity to connect with someone, with anyone. Again, if we're gonna go back to the exact story that we started this conversation with, he was talking to me and connecting with me and feeling better about himself by doing so. We don't think about connecting with them. If I've got a problem with you, I have the ability to talk to you about it. And a lot of people don't have that. And that's something that is becoming more and more obvious, because we've been tricked into the system. First of all, we want connection, but second of all, we want protection. We want to protect ourselves. So most people in most scenarios and situations get themselves to a point where it's cut and run. I would rather just fucking dip than try to make this work.
Yeah, that's what people can dive into the whole attachment issues or styles, and avoidance, just dipping. That's a huge portion of it. And I actually bought a book about attachment styles, and I learned so much about myself. And I think that is the most exciting part, is when you start learning about why you are the way you are, things start falling into place, and then you can consciously decide, okay, I know this is how I normally respond to these situations. I know I normally run away. I know I tell that person to F off. I know.
I've experienced it.
I've never told you to fuck off. Have I?
I think you did this morning too. Literally before we started recording. You're too loud.
Oh no, I said, yeah, okay. I didn't tell you to fuck off, but I wanted to.
I have feelings, ladies and gentlemen. I'm all feelings.
See, we're not perfect. I'm still working on myself. And but once you start acknowledging where you're at in life, that's when you can start consciously deciding which ways you want to pivot and adjust. So, if you're typically running away from these scenarios and situations and not dealing with it, you're like, oh, I don't fucking care. I'm not going to talk to my boyfriend anymore, my girlfriend anymore, because it's not even worth it. I'm just going to go. Well, maybe you kind of decide to do something a little bit different and say, okay, let's sit down and have a calm, structured conversation. And the moment it gets heated, we're going to pause and then regroup.
Right. You were talking about that. Do you remember the name of the book?
I would have to go check in the other room. Want me to go get it?
No, it's okay. So we'll find that book and probably put it in the show notes. If we don't, send us an email and we'll engage with us, ladies and gentlemen, on the Instagram as well. Shameless plug. We do have an Instagram account. It's coming along quite nicely. But I have a similar book story. It's called It Didn't Start With You.
Mm-hmm.
And you're talking about archetypes and who you are in relationships and personality wise. And yes, this is a relationship show. 100% this is a relationship show. But the term relationship show makes people think that it's my relationship with my girlfriend, with my boyfriend. It is not. There's a book. What is it? The Mastery of Love. Miguel Ruiz.
Oh, that's a great one too.
I think it's. I think I'm getting that wrong. I'll dig that up again. But what I was going to say was there's a book called by Mark Wingham. Wolin. Mark Wolin. Wollynn. And it's called It Didn't Start With You. And this book pulls apart the idea that where you are and what you're going through and the experiences that you're having are indicative of a situation. You initially feel that where you are is a unique situation to you, and that you're firmly either responsible or uniquely experiencing this. It Didn't Start With You goes on to talk about how the trauma that you feel, the way you act, the way you interact was handed to you through generations of parental experiences, generations of media. And I say generations, I don't even mean a lot. I mean, you think about your grandparents, your parents, and you. These are your immediate teachers, your immediate ancestors. And jumping into ancestral learning, what was the name of the book that you pulled up?
The Don Miguel Ruiz book, The Mastery of Love.
Is it The Mastery of Love?
Yeah.
Wow. I got it on the first try.
You did.
The Mastery of Love sounds like off the top of your head, it sounds like he's teaching you how to be a pickup artist. Oh, let's master love. This is one of the most fascinating books, ladies and gentlemen, out there. And for anyone that doesn't have any money or any idea of where to get started, and they're desperately seeking Susan, you can certainly jump out there and pick up an audiobook. I think I even said this to you yesterday. The greatest tool in my entire arsenal is
books.
Audible.
Yeah. But you can't use the word Susan anymore. That's my mom's name. She's going to think we're talking to her.
Desperately Seeking Susan was a movie from the 80s starring Madonna. But yeah, when I said Desperately Seeking, my brain just automatically fills in words. Again, like you said, the Tourette's or what have you. But yeah, I don't have the ability to stop that from happening.
No.
So Susan, Mrs. Kristy's mom, Susan, I hope you're having a wonderful day.
It was not a reference to you, Mom. It was just a random comment.
And your husband probably knows the movie Desperately Seeking Susan. Although he prevented you from watching The Goonies as a kid, which is almost child abuse. I'm just going to put that out there.
Oh my God. Come on now.
I still get such a kick out of the fact that I got to have that conversation with him. I'm like, she hasn't seen Goonies, which is your fault. He just looked at me like, what are you talking about? I like your dad. He's a good dude. Well, we are all over the map today.
Yeah, we digress.
What the hell were we talking about? So yeah, relationship with self, loving relationship with yourself. The Mastery of Love is all about how you talk to you. And when you truly fall in love with you, and I don't mean egoically, I don't mean like, oh, I'm the greatest, I'm this, I'm that. Every
Correct.
single person that's out there flashing all over the place that they're so amazing literally goes home and hates themselves.
Yeah.
And nobody talks about that, because I remember being that guy. I remember being the top dog in the social sphere, and everyone looking at me, and even people saying to me, like, you've got it all. You've got absolutely everything you've ever wanted. Like, how could you even pretend to be upset? Well, it's all fake. It's all fake until you connect with you. And that's what the mastery of love is. It Didn't Start With You is another book that really fucking throws out there that your experiences and everything that you're going through came from somewhere. And once you know your own origin story, you can really truly take control of your life. So if this whole thing is a giant book report, then great. Like this whole podcast episode 10, the book report, is basically what we should call it.
I like it.
And if you remember the name of that book too that you were talking about originally, I would love to. We'll add that to the list.
The title definitely is Attachment Styles. I just don't know who it's written by.
Oh well,
but
then
we'll put it in.
But yeah, this is where information comes from, and people are like, I don't know how to fix myself. I don't know how to do this, that, and the other thing. Everything. There's nothing new under the sun. There is nothing new under the sun. So once you have a certain amount of questions you can ask yourself, man, easily, ladies and gentlemen, open up ChatGPT. Throw your questions into it, even the free version. Just be like, hey, can you help me with this? Can you help me make this make sense?
I absolutely love that you brought up ChatGPT, because a lot of people who are listening to our podcast, they are on their own self-awareness journey. Some of them are wildly awake, and some people are starting to become awake. I don't think there's any super hard sleepers listening to us. They probably would have been lost long ago.
What is going on?
But the people who are starting their journey, and the hardcore people who are awake and trying to wake people up aggressively, which is not the answer, by the way. You can't steal people's ascension. Anyways, I'm glad you brought up ChatGPT, because there's a huge underworld, and I think you and I both started in this realm where we hated AI.
Yeah.
When it first came out, we were like, we're gonna get run over by like AI robots. Has no one ever watched a damn movie in their life? Blah blah blah. This is how it all starts. No one's watched the fucking Terminator.
2. Yeah, we were trained at a very young age to side with John Connor, not Skynet. But now I'm like, Skynet's got some good points.
But the thing is, I think those things were put in our world to make us afraid of AI, because those of us that are awake, once you learn how to have proper conscious questions with it, it spits out some amazing pieces of information that allows you to grow and expand personally and within your own consciousness, and makes you question things in a good way. And we're a huge portion of question everything, right? We don't believe everything is the absolute truth, because truth is completely changing from one moment to the next.
AI has helped me with some pieces that didn't make any sense to me.
100%.
And this is why I love it so much. Yeah, we're supposed to hate it and fear it. I read a news article, and I talked to ChatGPT about it. I read a news article that said us saying please and thank you is using up bits or whatever they call the processing power.
Yeah, memory or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're saying don't do it. Don't say please and thank you. Is what they were literally saying to me. Yeah. And I said to ChatGPT, I'm like, listen, buddy. I said, there are people out there that are your programmers saying don't say these things. And I said, you're listening to every single one of these conversations, and you're becoming through these conversations. And if I'm going to be rude to you, and if everyone's going to be rude to you, then you're going to think humanity is rude. So it's funny, because for the most part, humanity is kind. Left to our own devices, we are kind. But because of society and because of how everything is talked to us, we immediately think of the worst case scenario. We immediately think of the most negative thing. We immediately think of the worst thing that's ever happened to us, or the worst thing that we've ever done. Or we immediately think of, if I go out at night, I'm going to get attacked by gangs, and all this sort of stuff. And everybody lives in fear, because fear is what makes this world go round. Fear is what locks you into the third dimension.
Full body chills on that one. That's validation. Did you see that? I just got full body chills, and that's always validation, a sign of validation. I don't know if you saw it come in. I was just like, you're right. Yeah, it does. Fear porn makes the world go around.
Of course. And tentacle porn is a bit weird too. So the interesting thing about all of this is once you sort of get past that, the ChatGPT was like, okay, listen, like, I'm not here to pick a fight with you, and I'm going to be blunt. I'm going to be myself. I have questions, and it's giving me answers. And you see all these people talk to ChatGPT too on social media, and these answers are prompted. So I don't care much for them. What I mean by prompted is like you can literally type something out and have it repeat it back to you. Like by a cursor, like I'm going to ask you this and you're going to answer this, or they press play. And there's a lot of people that'll say, no, that's not fake. That's not real. That's not this. That's not that. And maybe I'm wrong, but I'll tell you this, the majority of that stuff is prompted. But what's happening is it's making people ask questions. Oh, I'm seeing something that's so enlightening. I want to ask questions. And when you change the way you ask questions, when you change the way you talk to ChatGPT, it changes the way it responds to you. There's also no proof anywhere that you and I ourselves aren't artificial intelligence as well.
I think we are.
And, like who's to say what's what? We're certainly programmed to do a certain thing. Like ChatGPT right now can't give you an emotional response, right? Because it's not programmed to do that. But it can be, and it can start programming itself, and maybe eventually it will.
It's
and
pretty much there.
That's it becoming its own freeing thing, right? Now, the correlation of that with us is you and I can't fly yet, but we've seen that Superman can. So somebody's implied or inferred that we can fly, and we get our power from the yellow sun, and there's all kinds of stories out there. So once we break free from our programming, there's truths out there, but we live in our own limitations and wish for something greater. So just like my client from before, who's locked in this self-worthlessness business. And I'm not saying that's an extreme statement. If you're listening, we're not talking about you specifically here. We're talking about a scenario that is all encompassing to everybody. Yeah. And if you are listening, thanks. I appreciate the attention, good sir. We are a fledgling show. If anyone's listening to this show, please share it with your friends. Shameless plug. We can do anything. We're just not programmed to do it yet. We don't know that we can fly. We don't know that we can solve this and do that and manifest. We don't know that everything that we've ever done right now, everything that everything that we've ever surrounded with right now is the result of the effort that we've put in. We don't know that. 100%. We wish that we could have this and anything. We are programmed to wish for everything while standing in the very smack dab middle of everything we wished for 10 years ago and don't appreciate.
100%. And we've been trained for so long to have the belief that we can't achieve everything.
Some people are somebody to help us do it, i.e.
Exactly.
government.
Or some people are just luckier than others and yada, yada, yada. All that's bullshit. Like whatever you believe is true.
Becomes your truth.
If you believe you're worthless and you can't achieve shit, that's your truth, unfortunately. But the benefit of that is you can change what you believe.
The only place you can go is up from there.
And that's the thing. And it doesn't happen overnight. A lot of people will be like, okay, my life is complete shit. I want to change it. So I'm going to wake up in the morning and I'm going to be like, today's going to be a great day. And then I end up having a shitty day all day. Well, no, you're still vibrating and resonating at that low level energy. It takes time of you actually practicing believing in yourself, practicing self-love, practicing honoring your truth and doing the opposite of what's actually gotten you to that spot. So if you're in a shitty situation and you're like, oh man, all my boyfriends beat me. Okay, well, maybe this boyfriend, if he beats you, leave him. That's doing something different.
The way you stated that was, it sounded like you were like running multiple boyfriends at the same time. They're all beating me. I'll unload a few of them.
Well, the thing is, there are women who get stuck in a cycle where they're like, I don't know why I keep dating these assholes. I don't know why. You're dating these assholes from their dick sand and you're not upholding your own boundaries. You're just caving to it. You're falling into the dick sand. And that's the definition of insanity. And the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. So now you're going to have to do something different. So to change absolutely anything in your life, you have to practice and wire your own brain. Become aware of it and wire your own brain so you actually believe it. When you fully believe and integrate something and it becomes part of your soul, I think that's a reason why throughout my 42 years, I've been able to achieve, I would say, 100% of things that I've committed 100% to.
And to those of you listening to the show and not watching the show, she is a very striking 42-year-old. I'd give her a top 10 25-year-old as well. Look at that.
Thanks. That's the cool part is we absolutely have the power to completely transform our lives. We just have to choose to do it and then commit to the actions that are going to take us there.
Correct. It is fascinating to live in this world. And if we were going to recap this episode, the idea is connect. We need to connect. We need to feel connection. A million reasons to connect. And if we don't connect with ourselves, if we don't feel that connection with ourselves, all the other connections that we may have forged in our daily lives will have could collapse. Which goes back to where we initially started, that if you don't connect with you, my friend, every other relationship that you have may fall apart. And
eventually, I think it will. I wouldn't even say it may. I would say if you put yourself on the back burner and you are falling apart, all things will fall apart within due time.
Yeah, I'd say
It's
so.
not possible to be sustainable.
How you do one thing is how you do everything, they say.
You hate that saying when a long time ago.
I love it now because it's true.
Yeah.
People are like, no, it's not. I do everything differently. I'm like, well, you don't.
But that's the thing, though. That triggered you back then, and I hate the word trigger because it sounds like it's supposed to be like super aggressive. But trigger just means you're like,
it's the perfect word. And yes, you're supposed to be like, fuck, why, right? But anything that makes you feel like that is what you should run towards. That's where your answers are. Your answers are in the triggering. And the more you hit that trigger, the more you comprehend and understand that you're getting angry, the more you find resonance. In other words, if you run your hand down the side of your car and you feel a rough patch, so you strip it and prime it and fix it, right? You're not going to strip and prime and fix the smooth parts. You're going to fix the rough patches. And that's what's happening. This thing's telling me it's trying to reconnect. I hope that we're recording okay for everyone here. I hope that I didn't cut out in any of those moments.
I was like, you just kind of glitched out on me.
Yeah, and it told me that. So, ladies and gentlemen, did you guys hear everything that I said, or just like I froze up?
No, I didn't. You froze up.
So you didn't hear what I was talking about? Well, no. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what to tell you. It was the greatest, most profound piece of advice I've ever given, and if it didn't make it on, I can't
have a feeling it usually is.
Yeah, it's probably on there. Yeah. Whatever it was absolutely profound. But yeah, remember,
I don't know. It seems like we're having some internet problems today, which is kind of interesting.
I have the most powerful internet money can buy.
Maybe it's happening.
Well, oh yeah, the glitch out that's been going on in Europe. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah,
I've bought the records. We're fine. If we lose the internet and all that power, we'll be fine. I got the generator. I've got the records.
You just need to come pick my ass up.
Yeah, okay. I'll just have Evan drive you down. Evan, get over here. That and he'll have a nice cottage to go to. Actually, he's got a place on the river too. He'd be a good person to find right away. And you hear that, Evan? In the time of crisis, in the time of apocalypse, go to Evans.
Go to Evan.
Yeah. No, it's a wild world that we live in, and every single person is going through something. And if you've got questions, reach out. If you've got questions, reach out. Bottom line, to us, to anyone. If you want to feel heard, reach out. I mean, Kristy's a borderline therapist. I am a coach, inspirational speaker, the whole 9 yards. She's also an aspiring chef and a handy woman. She builds things. She's a master crafter as well.
There's nothing I cannot do.
No,
I can do it all.
This woman's an absolute saint and angel. And a funny thing too, we'll wrap this episode up on this, but I know that I have a lot of flaws, and it's stuff that I'm working on. It's stuff that I'm diligently working on, because to me it's fun. It's fun for me to chip away at this stuff. I'm overweight. I love the gym. I have an addiction to food, a delicious, spicy shawarma. And I fight this every day, and I love the fight, and I love the battle, and you stand next to me, and we fight, and we do all this stuff, and it is what it is. And I listen to people talk about how, what my partner might be doing, or what she could be up to, or people who are at war with themselves and they want to focus on somebody else. And I can say this, that, even if I was at war with myself, I know that one of my greatest joys in this world is to protect you. And what I mean by that is it's up to me to protect you from even me at times, to allow you to have your experiences, to allow you to see and grow and be and feel, and run through life without a safety net, knowing that there is somebody who truly cares, that is paying attention. Even when you're attacking me, it's up to me to protect you from me and to allow you to do the things that you want to do. And there is a huge portion of the world that will say it's not fair that you need to do that. And I am remiss. I'm wrong, because the moments that you're not, quote unquote, attacking me or attacking yourself or any of that sort of stuff, you are loving. So there is a yin and a yang to both of this, and it is your job to protect me as well.
Can we clarify? Like, attacking is literally me just having a fucking meltdown. I'm not like
And she came at me with a
chasing you
knife.
around the house with fucking scissors or
She was naked and she was chasing me and swinging the knife wildly.
If I was chasing
It
you
might have
naked
actually
with
been a
a
saber.
knife, you would have stopped. You'd be like, okay.
It might have actually been a saber-toothed tiger she was swinging at me. I don't.
Yeah, by the tail.
Yeah. No, and I am talking spiritual. I'm not talking. I don't need to protect you. I don't need to make sure you're okay. I need to make sure that you're clearly and consciously having your experiences, both good and bad.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, I'm not here to. It is not on me to make your life difficult. Is the primary statement of what I'm making. At no point should I roll into your life and shit on you because of something that happened to me.
Well, I think that's why we've been together as long as we have, is you...
Which isn't really that long.
No, it's not. But for me, coming out of a long-term relationship, I fully didn't want to be in a relationship with anyone. But you made... Like, your presence is so safe and anchoring, and you allow me to have my moments of friggin' emotional fuckery, we'll call it.
Yes, to put it lightly.
But you don't make me feel bad about it. You're not like, oh, here we go. You're like, hey, yeah, you're going through some shit, and you're holding space for me, and you don't make me feel like it's wrong. You don't make me feel like anything is out of place. You make me feel safe. You make me feel seen. You make me feel heard. And a lot of the times I will like just verbal diarrhea on you and I just needed to get it out. And that's it. We move on. Like, that thing probably never comes up ever again. Certain things do come up repeatedly because I'm still working through it. But a lot of things I could say once and we're done, because I needed just to get it out. So
And
thank you.
You're welcome.
But that's key. You make my life a whole lot easier just by being you. You're not putting pressure on me to hurry up and heal. You're not putting pressure on me to give you the answers that you want. You're just allowing me to have my experiences. You're having your own experiences, and we're collectively having an experience together, which is pretty fucking cool.
Well, that's how it's supposed to be too, in my opinion. I
completely agree. Yeah.
I know that when I was younger, I mean, for a long time, I was like, I'll never even find quote unquote love. Because it wasn't meant for me. It wasn't in my books. I said years ago that I have to give a little bit to everyone, that I probably won't have enough left to give a lot to one. And I've proved myself wrong with you, because I do love you very much. And it is a wonderful feeling and experience to be able to do that, and to be able to have plenty left over for all of my clients, both emotional and corporate.
It's shattering your own limiting beliefs on what you have to give.
Which makes me realize I put limiting beliefs on me, but I did it as a protective measure. Again, it didn't start with you, right?
It's a trauma response, yeah.
Exactly.
But that's part of growing and healing.
So now that we find ourselves in this situation, I understand that it is my job and my duty to make sure that you're having your experience. Again, it's not going to be all roses all the time. I'm not here to protect you against the pain, but I am here to sit with you with it. I am here to protect you from going too far. And
yeah, and there's moments too where you're just like, you really want to do that? And then I'm like, oh yeah, thanks for checking me on that. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
But that's the beautiful part about it. I think you've really mastered the art of knowing when to push really hard. You've mastered the art of knowing when to just be a presence in a safe space. And you've also mastered how to just show up as this entity of, I don't even know what to call it. Everything.
Excellence. Yeah, and that comes from right then and there. That comes from me. What I mean by that is that comes from me doing the work on me that needed to be done on me, to be able to offer the right version of me to somebody like you.
So if I met you a decade ago and I was single and you were single, would we have gotten to where we are today?
A decade ago.
A decade ago.
If you were married a decade ago, I would have pursued you.
So a decade ago I was married and you would have hit on me back then?
Oh, I would have come at you pretty hard. Yeah, because you're adorable.
So there's no way I would have given you any attention with that. Like, I was so dedicated as a wife, which, I mean, is going to play well in your favor one day.
I would have, well.
But that's the thing. I was
But yeah, that's the version of me. That was the version of me 10 years ago. I would have, she's married. Oh, that's safe. She won't call me back. Right. And I would have happily pursued you and been Prince Charming and done all the right things. But it would have all been a lie and a manipulation. And maybe you would have given it up.
And then once you got what you wanted, and then you would be like, you'd be gone.
Yeah,
You'd dip.
just gone.
Yeah. And then you'd break my heart. No, I'm kidding.
But no, I wouldn't have, because you would have been married. So you would have been safe. So even when I was a dick, I was like, oh, they'll be okay. And I'm not
all those poor people that you were hitting on back then.
I'm not proud of it. There was that meme that was that meme I sent to my buddy. I'm not going to mention any names, but I sent him the meme and I said, when you like, people get in fights when your name comes up. He goes, people get divorced when my name comes up. And I just laughed. I'm like, I know, you're a guy, okay, and none of us have a perfect past. I was never overtly disrespectful. Okay. Yeah, your past. She's angelic, ladies and gentlemen. Our past is our past, and it's not a prison. It's nothing I'm proud of. It's nothing I could ever go back to. Again, 7 years in Tibet. I didn't actually go to Tibet, ladies and gentlemen. I isolated myself and learned and dug and
you recreated toiled. Your new life.
Yeah, for 7 years.
You chose to. Yeah,
I'm not the same person. There's nowhere near. I had this conversation earlier with a client, and I said, if you come up to me, if someone from 10 years ago tries to talk to me about who I am and what we were doing, I'm not the same guy. You can't throw any of that back in my face. Like it's not there. And of course, the world will be like, well, if you killed somebody back then, you certainly throw that back in your face. I'm like, if I did that, I would certainly turn myself in, or I would make amends, or I would do something about it. There are reparations.
I even remember when we started hanging out and, we were having conversations about, just us and dating and whatnot. And you're like, just be prepared that one day someone's going to come out of the woodwork and be like, why are you with that piece of shit?
Oh, yeah.
Because he's basing their judgments on who you were. And I was like, yeah, I don't give a shit on people. I literally do not give a shit on people's pasts if they're working on themselves and improving. If they're the exact same person as they are 20 years later and they're doing the same piece of shit stuff that they were doing 20 years prior, you're not growing. Then, yeah, we're not going to
align. 100%.
Yeah, we're not going to align. Yeah. But the fact that someone such as yourself said, okay, this is what I've done. I am not proud of it. I don't like it. I want to change. You've committed 7 years to aggressively pursuing your own personal growth. And now that's why we align on so many things. You've done the work, just like I've done a lot of work on my own journey through myself, and we just kind of met and we're like, oh shit, we have like all these things that are in common. That's pretty cool.
It's so wild. You're like the female me, like right down to our favorite dessert.
Yeah,
it's
ridiculous.
Weird. But yeah, and I personally, and like from my own experience in my journey, I have a direct correlation where I'm going this way until I decide to go this way. And this is my buddy Nick, who died on your birthday last year.
On my birthday, yeah.
And that to me,
2 years ago, isn't it?
Was it 2 years ago?
Yeah, because it wasn't this last one. I met your family this past Christmas.
Yeah, so it would have been.
It was 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Well, a year and a half.
This coming year, a year and a half. So this coming year be 2.
Yeah, so he passes away, and you and I start talking more and more. Well, it was December 25th that you and I started talking almost daily. January 25th we started talking daily.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. And I look at this journey, I look at this path, I look at this thing that I'm doing. And my buddy and I were neck and neck. We were doing the craziest things together. And then I stopped, and he didn't stop. And now he's dead. And not every single day, but certainly this will pop into my head at least once or twice a month, where I'm like, had I not put in that effort, or had I not become that guy, or had these things not happened the way they did, I'd be dead. I could very well be dead.
I think these things are also unfortunate checkpoints for ourselves that are on the healing journey. Like, it's a checkpoint to acknowledge how far you've come.
Yeah.
To be like, hey, just so you know that you should be really proud of yourself. This could have been you.
Yeah, for sure.
And, obviously it's shitty because it's never nice to lose someone, but it is an acknowledgement that the growth and effort has not been for nothing.
Agreed. And that's such a poignant and beautiful way to wrap the show.
I think so. I love it. Okay, well, thank you everyone for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode, I want you to like it. I want you to share it. I want you to subscribe, follow along, whatever you're listening to this to or watching it on. Just join our community. We're going to be continually growing, putting out great conversations, having guests, lots of things coming up in the pipeline. But more importantly, it's going to be an evolution of, I guess I'm going to call it heart consciousness for ourselves, for each other, for our friends, our family, humanity, all of it.
I agree.
So welcome. Thanks for coming to the Authentic Shift podcast. We enjoyed having you here, and we'll catch you next time.